An enhanced risk of severe weather is possible tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. I think by looking at the latest data, this could be a late afternoon and even an overnight type event. In the Four Corners region of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, by the SPC appears to be the greatest risk, and there is a tornado, excuse me, a tornado risk down there as well, and even a 10% hatched area, which of course means within 25 miles of any given point, there's at least, in this case, a 10% chance of a tornado that forms that could be of at least EF2 strength or above. Hail's not going to be the big threat tomorrow, but it is there. And then the wind damage probabilities will probably be mainly more so along the actual cold front as it heads on in, because as the system ejects out, it's going to pull to the north pretty quickly and kind of pull away from the main area here. So it's kind of make everything more parallel to the boundary that's coming in, the cold front coming in, compared to as where you have it more at an angle with a warm front or the warm sector, the confluence lines, as we call it, the prefrontal type of environment. And I'm gonna show you here. Here comes the trough as we go into tomorrow. This is overnight, and now here's early tomorrow morning, coming into the Four Corners region. Still not out there. Now, as we get toward the late evening, here it comes, approaching the eastern portion, central and eastern portions of Oklahoma. Basically, where the dynamics are the best in terms of being downstream from the trough, the quality of the warm sector, and the orientation. See, a bit of a negative tilt there to the upper low. Would put this area right here where the SPC has their enhanced risk in the best region for some severe weather. But watch this. Watch how quickly it bombs off to the north, and everything. See, even down here, everything becomes more. The flow becomes more parallel instead of that tilt that we saw, because like I said, the dynamics are pushing away a bit from where the better moisture is, and so you get kind of more of a linear type thing as you go on to the north, and as we go on into the rest of the evening, and into even into early during the day on Tuesday. And see, there'll be some unstable air down here in the south, down here in Mississippi and Alabama as well, probably into Tennessee. Will get enough of a glancing blow of that trough as it goes by for mainly a damaging wind threat with there as well. And you can see this when you look at the dew point maps, and you can see where the better moisture is located at. We'll go on ahead here. Let's see. This is early tomorrow. It's even mid-40s dew points all the way up into Indiana, up in here tomorrow. And they actually increase during the day, but the best moisture is right down here. And then you can see the dynamics push away. There's the front lowering the dew point temperatures. They do rise briefly over Indiana and Illinois into Kentucky. I wouldn't rule out a strong storm or two for tomorrow. Not for tomorrow, for early during the day on Tuesday. I do think, though, the actual instability in the atmosphere will be a little bit lower, and the storms down to the south will probably take some of the additional moisture away, and I don't know about that. So I'm not too concerned about tomorrow or Tuesday for areas up in the Ohio Valley. But we could have some thunderstorms and some isolated gusty winds and some heavy rains, but that's about it. Pretty much all the way into Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, that type of thing. See, there's the instability. You know, for tornadoes, you got to have it at the surface. And while we have kind of a favorable wind shear pattern, as you watch with time, you'll see the reds, the low-level winds, and then the mid-level winds. You see the veering from southeast and then to southwest, which would be normally favorable for tornadic development. But as you can see here, there's not a lot of instability that comes north, particularly not at the surface. A little bit right there that might be just enough to get some gusty storms out of it. But by that time, when the instability is overlapping with the shear, you can kind of see everything go more toward the west. A little less of that directional shear, more of that unidirectional. You see right there. So I'm not expecting anything big up here at all. I think tomorrow evening could be pretty interesting down here where they have the enhanced risk. But it could be a short duration because, like I said, this trough is going to eject out pretty quickly, and it doesn't have much of a subtropical jet interacting with it. So within here, you can see the storms, how they develop, and it develops basically just this mass bands of heavy rain and thunderstorms, and then eventually just cuts off, and that's it. So I don't expect anything big up here. There could be a strong tornado or two in this area down here late tomorrow into the overnight with those supercells right there. You see the supercells develop two bands of them, one in the warm sector in the pre-confluence, and then another one right along the actual cold front. That'd be more of a forced line of storms, but enough shear will exist. Some tornadoes may also occur from the Dallas area on up toward eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas with that second band right there. And then that band weakens, rejuvenates a little bit there. You can see some prefrontal stuff again as we get on into early Tuesday. So we'll see how this goes tomorrow. But as you can see here, as we come into the Ohio Valley, scattered showers mainly for Monday and Tuesday, and getting into Tuesday, could be a couple of bands of rain and maybe some thunderstorms, potentially some gustier type storms, but I'm not looking for anything major at all.